Hello guys and welcome to the third video of this week. So as I told you in the previous video, what we're going to do right now is to illustrate how to complete this little chart or let's say diagram that we have in the slide number 41. The idea of this instrument is that it is going to help us to produce better descriptions in the future. Okay, so I'm going to do it right now with something that I'm seeing right in front of me, that is a bicycle, and that is what we're going to be doing. I'm going to do to go like by each component, part by part, arbitrarily mostly, because you can start on any part according to your preference, on the left, on the right, bottom, tops, whatever you want, right? I'm going to do it like in the way that is most common for me, but it's up to you how you want to do it. Okay, so let's go with the space that reads topic or title. Okay, so normally over there you're going to put the name of whatever you're going to describe. So over here in this moment I'm going to describe a bicycle, so in the topic or title I am going to put the word bicycle. Okay, that's it. Oh, by the way, I am going to create like the diagram or the chart for this for the description that I'm just going to make or to provide for you, so you can find it attached to this video in Edmodo, hopefully. Okay, so there should be like a picture of it. Okay, so we have then the bicycle and the topic title space. Then we have aspects and relationships. Okay, those are the titles of the different divisions that we are going to have. We can go to either aspects or to relationships. Okay, so it is not necessary to change or add anything in there. Okay, so basically you can put aspects or relationships. Okay, so I'm going to the left and I'm going to complete the part related to aspects. There is a subdivision over there in the aspect part. There are properties and there are parts. Okay, so in the part of properties, mostly we are going to use our sensorial experience, right? So we already mentioned that we are required to use the senses in order to describe the particular object. So I'm going to do that right away. So to keep it short, I am going to try to put one characteristic, and this is going to be like a list. Okay, you don't require to write full sentences. I'm going to try to put a characteristic per sense. Let's see if I am able to do so. So let's go with the visual thing, right? So I can talk about colors. So I can write black and green. Yes, well, it has some other colors such as silver, I think gray. There's also a little bit of yellow in the reflected petals. That's it. So I can talk about colors, right? Then let's talk about touch. So I'm not touching it right now, but I have in the past. So I can say that is smooth and that is cold to the touch. Yes. So we can write those two words, smooth, sorry, and cold maybe. Then let's go with the smell. Yeah, so it usually smells moody. Yes, because I didn't wash it last time I used it, so I went through a mud, through some mud, and it still has certain hardened earth over there. So if I want to mention that it has any sort of smell, so I could say that it is moody. So I touch, smell, noise. Well, right now it's not really producing any sort of noise, right? Maybe if it was not well oiled, it could be maybe clingy or noisy somehow, like creaky, right? It could be, but in this moment it is not that way, so I don't think it could be like a necessity in there, right? So the idea is that we're going to complete the five senses over there. Also taste. Well, I am not going to really leak the thing. So in this case, it wouldn't apply, right? As you can see, depending of what we're dealing with, you can go through the whole range of sensorial experience, or just eliminate some of those. Okay, very well. So that will be the properties part. Okay, now I can add some other information. Yes, such as the ones that we mentioned uh, in the questions in the slide number 40. Yes, so if you want to write like some random words over there, such as transportation, yes, that would be like the what does it do, no? Or if you want to include the thing that I mentioned um, in the other video about how does it work, well, you could do it, but remember that we're not going to write full sentences. No, let's try uh, to keep it minimum to words, just simple words in there. Remember that this is going to be a diagram, that it's going to be like a preparation, or somehow a source of information for writing a future paragraph, text, or something similar. Okay, so that was about properties. Hopefully it is clear. Okay, then let's go back to the component of parts. Well, very easy. Simply, I'm going to mention over here what are the parts. The highest your knowledge about the technicalities of anything, well, the more complete the definition is going to be. Yes, so I can tell from my very poor knowledge about transportation means that it has wheels, that it has seats, that it has, well, it has a seat, that it has a lamp and a chain, and has pedals, and has pinions, and has gears, and has bolts, and hoses, and brakes, and reflectors, and it has some stickers, and I guess that's it. Yes, probably somebody who is specialized in bicycles and knows about the mechanics and all these different things can give you a longer list of parts, right? But that's it. Okay, so as you can see, remember, we don't put anything in aspects. We're just going to go to the properties, list the properties, list the parts. Let's go to the other part, that is relationships, right? And same thing, the relationship is just let's say a title or a label over there that is not necessary to complete. So we're going to the other parts that actually has another subdivision. Yes, we have situations and associations, right? Really easy this in this case again, because basically we're just going to complete the four components that are down there. So we don't need to write anything else in situation or association. Those are like the subtitles, okay? So let's go to the bottom, as I mentioned, place, time, comparisons, and metaphors. So let's go to the situation, and let's go with the place. So normally, where do you use a bicycle? Yes, so just make a list. No, in the park, in a racing competition, in the country, in the city. Well, I don't know. Yes, just think about any different places in which this transportation mean can be employed, or where you can find those. Yes, so even if it sounds silly, a bicycle store will be a perfect place. Yes, because that is a place in which you can find the object that you are describing. Right? Fine. Let's go to the time. Now, this time sometimes is literally like what time. Yes, so in the morning, in the afternoon, at night. Yes, that's a possibility. Or like the occasion. Yes, that is the other like meaning of time. When do you use a bicycle? When you want to go to the school, when you want to go to the university, when you want to go to work, for competitions, for leisure time, for making exercises at the time that you want to exercise yourself, etc. Right? So you can make a list of all these different literal times or moments of the day, or occasions or moments in which you normally use or can use this bicycle. Okay, fine. That was the time part. Now let's go to the associations, and in this part you're going to put certain things that are similar or that reminds you or whatever in terms of a bicycle. Now, so comparisons, and this is essential for something that we're going to do in the future, that is the elaboration of menti facts, right? So what does it go in comparisons? It goes objects that are similar to bicycles but are not bicycles. Okay, well, so you can find motorcycles, you can find monocycles, yes, you can find maybe trikes, you can find four-wheel motorcycles, right? So all of them share certain characteristics, yes. All of them seem to be transportation means or helps to go from one place to another, but they are not quite bicycles. Yes, there's something that change that perspective or that idea. The fuel, the power, the way in which they move, their size, the number of wheels, certain parts that they don't have, right? So you can list all those different things over there in comparisons, right? And finally, metaphor. Well, hopefully, I expect that you already know the concept of metaphor and examples of metaphors. If you don't, well, please go online and look for those and refresh a little bit your knowledge, because you're supposed to know it already, like by the level, the semester that you're in. But a short concept of that will be that a metaphor is a comparison without the use of comparative words. Words such as like, similar to, yes, as, because if you're going to do that, that would be a simile, right? So if you say I don't know, brilliant like the sun, that is a simile because you're using the comparative word like, yes. Heavy as lead, well, that is a simile because you are using the comparative word as, yes. Ferocious, like a tiger, ferocious, or similarly to a tiger, well, that is a simile because you're using the comparative word. Okay, so a metaphor doesn't use comparative words, right? A perfect metaphor for bicycle can be metal horse, yes, metal horse, and that is actually something that it is said in Spanish, no? Caballito de acero. Yes, so you can say metal or steel horse, and you are comparing the bicycle to a living being that serves roughly the same purpose, the purpose of transportation, and that's it. Okay, with one metaphor, it's okay, and that's it. Probably this may be the most difficult part for some of you. Because it requires a little bit of poetic skill, if you want to call it that way. But well, we're going to need that in the future, okay? So that's it. It has a lot of parts, but many of them are just titles and subtitles that we don't need to modify, which is great, I think. So basically we're just going to label the title and then complete the bottom parts. Yes, just make sure that you complete them as briefly but completely as possible. Okay, so that's it, guys. So this will be the assignment number 2. I am going to distribute among you different categories. For now, and to keep it simple enough, we are going to use only a physical description, or let's say you're going to fill this chart or this diagram with physical things, meaning people, animals, objects, places. Okay? In the future, meaning next week, we're going to do the same exercise with something intangible, and that's going to be quite harder, right? So think about filling this diagram with emotions, or with processes, or with some other things. Now, what are the parts of love? What are the parts of frustration? So prepare for that because it may be a little bit rougher. So for now, let's keep it easy and do that. So we're going to do this also, if you want, in groups of 3 people. So I'm just going to randomly put your names over there and assign a criteria. Yes, a person, an object, a place, or something like that. Okay. So if you are going to work in groups of 3 people and everybody has a different thing, yes, one person has a place and the other has a person and the other has an object, well, just decide one and that's it. Okay, you're able to change if you want to. I'm just going to give a different one for everybody, just in case somebody wants to work individually. Okay, but otherwise you're just going to simply select one and that's it. So do that. If you want to look for a program online and just complete it and create the diagram in a beautiful way, excellent. I encourage your dedication, but that's not necessary, right? For me, it would be enough just to copy and paste the same thing and just write the things down there or do it by hand and take a picture and upload it. Okay, that would be good. I'm not really concerned with aesthetics over here. If you want to do it in a wonderful way and really colorful and nice, well, I will be more than happy to revise that. But if you want to do it in just your notebook and a single color, that will be fine. Okay. So guys, basically that is the first part of the modality of description. We're still a long way to go with some other criteria or components of description, and we will be covering that in the next weeks, hopefully. Okay. So again, I want to say goodbye by wishing my best to you guys. Please take care of yourselves. Take care of the people you like. The people you don't like a lot, well, also take care of them. They deserve that. You need enemies in your life, so take care of them as well. Life is funnier that way. Your relatives, your mom, your dad. Sometimes we have trouble with the people we live with. And sometimes living with them is difficult, but well, this is a rough time for everybody, so try to be comprehensive, try to be flexible, and well, give your best, and hopefully you will also receive good things. Okay, so a hug for everybody. Really hope you're having the best time as possible, and well guys, hugs, and see you soon in our next video. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.